Hey, how's it going? Today is 25th of December, Wednesday, and we're gonna be taking a look at the market and I don't know what kind of information we might be able to find, information that will be publicly available. Then trying to understand. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at Polish military might, as well as how much equipment recently Poland purchased and are looking to buy, and some of these contracts can be ongoing, right? So it could be 4 year, 5 year contracts. But we will try our best when it comes to capturing perhaps some of the inventory and all capabilities of forces, perhaps offering some feedback. Most likely, some of those numbers won't be updated. So this feedback, not necessarily feedback, it just the information is not being disclosed. Well, anyway, so we're kind of discussing, but not really. Just put things into perspective. That should be taking a look at some of these articles. Have to be British Polish firm signed 5 billion deal for Poland's air defense, right? As well as then this article, right? So just then we're gonna be taking a look at this information to put things into perspective. When it says British, it's not really British, right? Since that's a firm that would be UK arm of missile maker MBDA. So if we were to take a look at this firm, let's try to break it down some information that really perspective on wider things and the way how these articles and all information will be presented. Where actually, if you we want this video is gonna be too long, so we're gonna do it one time and we won't gonna do it anymore, right? Since it's a business, right? And when it comes to this business, this particular business, there are actually combination on number of companies. That would be Airbus, which would own 37.5%. Company based in France, Europe, right? From there, we're progressing to Base Systems. Base Systems are a company based in UK, but they have a year ago acquired some of the businesses in the United States, roughly for around 500 personnel who would have clearance when it comes to manufacturing some of the defense systems. So would that be British? Since the company itself, they have capabilities or personnel operating in the United States and UK, but that would be 37.5%, as well as Leonardo. Leonardo would be based mainly in Italy, but not necessary again. So just coming back to this article, right? So when we're discussing some of this information that's available up there, information and all, if we were to break it down, some of those businesses, it's all over the place. For people who understand it, as well as entire contract would be in dollars. So again, so most likely money may or may not be borrowed money, or there might be a grant, it might be a loan, and the loan might be within U.S. banks, and so the entire subject might be very complex, right? That's what we are saying, right? The deal worth more than worth than 4 billion okay pounds or the $5 billion will lead to again this information is so inaccurate. The delivery of the 1,000 missiles and no more than 100 land shares for Poland's new weapon system. The Polish program is based off MBDA, extended range variety of command anti-air modular missiles jointly developed by UK and or Italy. Again, we're missing another country that would be France, since that company is operating between. So that's articles. Basically, that's articles that we're gonna be reading. Just put things into perspective, right? There was recent presentation when it comes to some of the systems and or electronic warfare. I think that's the definition that was used in presentation. How some of those systems or using electronic warfare, how inaccurate some of those defense systems might become over time, right? But perhaps I can link to some of those presentations for people who like to do a little bit more of a deep dive or when it comes to electronic warfare. But once that been said, we can take a look at Poland to buy 486 HIMARS launchers from some of those businesses, right? As well as then we are taking a look at this particular contract. They might have purchased, let's say, 100, and they still have option to purchase another two, three, four, 500, right? So that would be complexity of the contract itself, but that would be again the way how this contract would be presented or what kind of information would be available online, right? As the admin said, the Polish defense minister, or let's keep name, on Monday approved framework deal to buy 486 launcher loader module kits from its M142 high mobility artillery rocket systems. So that was just an example of some of these contracts. Let's progress. There's so many articles to cover, right? If anything, perhaps when it comes to what and how accurate some of that information can be, we can take a look at that. Might be some of these reviews had been published, but again, it might be more accurate, but not necessarily some of those open source information articles and all websites. I would say would have almost up to date information, since that would compromise its defense, right? In this particular case, Poland's defense, right? The War Power series is all sites take up unique by the numbers quick reference approach to the current 2025 military capabilities of Poland. Poland's sites at the heart of Eastern Europe, central to the east, and all forms the first line of defense against aggression and organizing from Russia and Belarus, with an ongoing war to its east with NATO member. Is the process of heavily modernization moving? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of narratives. If anything, when it comes to Poland, perhaps the people in Poland understand about their own capabilities and perhaps launching their own series of infantry, let's say, fighting battle vehicles, all those kind of things. But again, then it would need to have the same standards, all these kind of things, and not necessarily it's been highlighted within this introduction. When it comes to purchasing equipment, you need to be or have capabilities to repair this equipment. It's not enough to purchase it. You need to maintain it, repair it, all these kind of things, as well as that equipment after it's been purchased can get. Anyway, let's progress without all that, right? Let's take a look at perhaps what information is available. That's kind of introduction, and let's progress from there. What kind of information we're going to be taking a look at? After the at a glance breakdown, that would be when it comes to global ranking, based on perhaps this particular information would place Poland and ranking at the 20th ranking place, as well as regional rank. That would be a third place. Sure, equipment when it comes to modernizing, 42%. I don't know. I would I would have my own rating when it comes to manufacturing of that equipment. That's where things should be. It's not necessarily where things are. If Poland is purchasing that equipment, they're just wasting money. Once that been sent, that would be material suppliers. So who actually would have capabilities? Actually, would have some of those countries. Perhaps we're taking a look at 5 countries when it comes to UN Security Council. That would be France, UK, US, Russia, and China. So that's top 5. And once that been said, who would have capabilities on manufacturing that equipment? And from there, let's try to understand who Poland is doing business with. That would be US. Perhaps they do big slowly, and over time they might be interested in manufacturing equipment. From there, progressing to South Korea, which is a big becoming a major arms dealer, which is kind of great, interesting, I guess. Italy, Turkey, France, Germany, Spain, Israel, and perhaps some of the old equipment coming from SSSR, right? Let's take a look at a glance some of the equipment that they're purchasing, right? We can take a look at our active inventory when it comes to area of would that be definition air forces, or what kind of vehicles Poland as of now has. But if anything, quick summary of all these vehicles would be all these vehicles have been piloted, so placing a person in danger. And some of those governments are building area fighting vehicles without a pilot. So this is where things are. But some of those governments still has old inventory, and they're looking to sell all of the inventory and all vehicles that, as of now, are on the list. There's a pilot that would be needed for all these vehicles that they have. So perhaps just quick summary of that would be Poland, if they might be interested, if they're not already manufactured unpiloted area vehicles, right? Let's progress. Let's take a look at the next plane. So that would be space, air, land, and water, right? So four different planes, and we're taking a look at the air right now, right? And let's take a look at next vehicle. That would be Polish Army. I don't know if that would be combat vehicles and all support vehicles, right? And currently massive inventory, but I guess depending in comparison, perhaps how much of the inventory other governments might have, that would be just over 15,000, 15,500 or close to that. And some of the governments who are manufacturers of these vehicles, that would be United States, South Korea, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, and perhaps some of the inventory is still left from the Cold War, right? Again, then it comes to perhaps they, when it comes to these vehicles, what they're doing, but they should be keeping on doing what they're doing, I guess. Some of the prices are massive. It could be go, I know, range up to 40 million for one piece of equipment. Massive amount, as well as how easily it can be destroyed, right? Let's progress and let's take a look at the next type of vehicles. Let's take a look at Navy. Perhaps when it comes to Navy, as of now, there isn't that much attention at Navy. I know perhaps they never, Poland never had problems with Navy, right? When it comes to active inventory, I know that perhaps from there we're taking a look at readiness levels and on maintenance, all those kind of things. The performance could always be better, I guess, as well as some of that equipment can cost. Let's take a look at helicopters, right? To just put things into perspective. We're not right now. We're taking a look at Navy, but let's just put things into perspective, right? To maintain helicopters is very, very, very expensive, by the way. Very. So when we take a look at Navy, it can be very, very expensive as well. So when it comes to countries and all where it's been purchased, perhaps the Poland might need to have these kind of capabilities, if not right now, perhaps in the future, right? And perhaps some of the places I know what information will be available up there, right? Since we would be taking a look at something I have mentioned previously that with unmanned area vehicles, perhaps there might be a lot of work is being done. No one just discussing this part, right? Since currently what information is available, that would be Poland might be able to manufacture its own drones when it comes to other governments, have to do Turkey, who's making a lot of progress when it comes to some of the initiatives, businesses that we were taking a look at previously, as well as Israel and United States, right? And current inventory is about 100. To put things into perspective, if we were to take a look at, for example, Ukraine in a year is manufacturing about 1 million, or it can manufacture 2 million of drones. This is what Ukraine is doing. What we're doing, we're just putting things into perspective. Ukraine and there's a lot of conflicts up there, right? And this is how much Ukraine can do it. So I don't know all this information that we have just read. I don't know how accurate that information is, but perhaps that's where a lot of attention should be. It may or may not be when it comes to Polish military hardware and all capabilities, right? Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.